Welcome to the Man United stream. Hope you're doing well. It is another day and another day of speculation on what's going on with Manchester United and the takeover. We are hearing that this Thursday is that very important board meeting with the Glazers and the rest of Manchester United board, and they will be finalising that deal with Sir Jim Ratcliffe for 25% minority stake within Man United. Now, that is not good news for many fans, but we have to now move on and accept that this is what is going to happen. Sir Jim is the one who's going to go and take over at Manchester United. 25% to begin with, and we're hoping that it becomes a reality where the Glazers walk out of Manchester United having nothing to do with it, and Sir Jim finally gets 100% of the club. And that is going to be the most important detail of everything. The whole deal will depend on what is going to happen with Manchester United going forward. Will Sir Jim finally get to take over the entirety of Manchester United within a year or two, or will the Glazers hold on and just simply not sell? It could be 10, 20 years, I'm hearing, that the Glazers could actually be at Manchester United. And if that is the case, no fan is going to be happy to wait that long, and no fan's going to be happy with Sir Jim for doing this to Manchester United, especially when we had an offer like Sheikh Yassim on the other side, clearing all the debts, investing in the club, putting us on the level playing field with Man Cities and Newcastles and PSGs and everybody else. That's what Sheikh Yassim was offering. But before we go and discuss the details of Sir Jim Ratcliffe's offer to Manchester United and what he might be doing at Manchester United once he does get in, let's take a look back at Sheikh Yassim and why his offer was rejected. We're hearing from sources that the Glazers for a long time had not been interested in Sheikh Yassim taking over at the club. In fact, some months ago, even before the summer transfer window, the Glazers had already made their mind up about not selling the club to Sheikh Yassim. That's why Sheikh Yassim was left out in the cold and he heard nothing from the Glazers. On the other hand, we've heard from sources that the Glazers were in touch with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and helped him along in the bidding process. They told him exactly what they wanted. They told Sir Jim that they did not want to leave and they wanted to remain at the club at some capacity, and that's exactly why Sir Jim restructured his bid in the last couple of weeks and came in with that bid that he knew that the Glazers will not reject and will take to the board for approval. What we have also heard from sources is that the Glazers were not happy with Sheikh Yassim and the way he was leaking information and what he was saying about the club and how he wanted to take Man United back to the glory days, meaning that the Glazers had failed in what they had done in the 18 years tenure that they had at Man U. And even though that is very obvious that the Glazers have not had a good time at Man U, they did not want Sheikh Yassim to plaster that all over the media and all over his offers and bids, that he is the one who's going to be the saviour for Man U. And this is exactly why they were put off by his bid originally and the way he was trying to come in here and say that he's going to be the saviour for Man U, and that is why they rejected his bid at the outset and have never really been interested in selling the club to him. It might also have been that the Glazers would have known that Sheikh Yassim, if he does come in and puts all that money in, of course he's going to be successful and Man United will be successful. So that 18 years that they spent, they will always be remembered in history for being failures. So maybe that's why they've gone with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, knowing that he's maybe not going to do as much work or impress the fans as much as Sheikh Yassim, and that's why maybe their 18 years will not look too bad compared to what Sir Jim Ratcliffe might do. Now, there's some fans who've jumped ship very quickly. The ones who were behind Sheikh Yassim have now jumped in behind Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe not, but they've now started denying that they ever supported Sheikh Yassim, but that wasn't the case. I mean, lots of fans all wanted Sheikh Yassim, and there were a few fans, I must admit, who were after Sir Jim Ratcliffe, but not many. And especially once they heard that he was going to keep the Glazers there, no one really liked the idea of Sir Jim Ratcliffe being there, but what has happened now is that he has been successful and lots of fans are now getting behind him. I don't disagree with them fully, but I don't agree with him either. I have to wait and see what happens with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and what he does with the Glazers and how he actually deals with them. Is there something on the horizon where he will have the opportunity to buy them out? If there isn't, then we have got some really serious questions to ask with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and we have got some problems. If Sir Jim is going to buy the Glazers out in a couple of years, well, that is good news. That's what we want to hear, and as fans, then we can at least look forward to them leaving. So everything will depend on the details of this takeover by Sir Jim Ratcliffe and that 25%. With this 25%, Ratcliffe will also get to make all the footballing decisions at Man United. Now that is very key, because if he does get that through the door, that means that he will be in charge of everything, more or less, to do with the footballing decisions. And if Ratcliffe is in charge of making all the footballing decisions, then there'll be lots and lots of worried people within Manchester United, because he will come in and he will make wholesale changes. We're hearing he'll come in and start making those changes very quickly, and he'll want to impress the fans. He'll want to show the fans that he's here to make some serious changes. Whether that actually happens with the Glazers still being at Man United is very unlikely. These guys are like a poison chalice. They do not want to leave Man United, but they keep on screwing us up as well. They keep on taking us down with them, and it's really hard for them to leave Manchester United, because they know that they keep on making money without having to do anything. So all eyes will be on Ineos and Sir Jim to see what is the deal that they've agreed with the Glazers. What are the details of that agreement? Will Sir Jim have control of all footballing matters? Will he get a say in who the manager is? Will he get to say which players are bought and which players are not bought? Can Man United fans really place any hope in Sir Jim or not? Let us know in the comments below. What do you think about Sir Jim? Do you trust him? Do you think he's the right person for the job? Drop your comments below, let us know. The real concern I have about Sir Jim is whether he will have the ability to take on the Glazers and whether he will have the ability to get rid of the Glazers. Now, we've heard reports that he's doing a really clever move by making sure he comes in, gets his foot through the door, gets that 25%, and then slowly he will start buying out the Glazers and he will have them out. I'm not quite sure whether that is Sir Jim's master plan. I hope it is, I really do. But to me, it seems Ratcliffe did not have the money to go out there and buy Manchester United in its entirety and kick the Glazers out, and that's why he's gone for 25%, and he's going to stick with that 25%, and he's going to be very happy with that 25% going forward. And that is the worst case scenario for us, because then the Glazers will never leave, they'll stay at Man United, and we fans will be stuck with two owners who just really care about the commercial side of Manchester United and making money, and it's got nothing much to do with what they're doing on the pitch. Please hit that like button on this video, and if you're new to the Man United Stream channel, hit that subscribe button. You are watching the Man United Streamer channel by the fans, for the fans.